Good afternoon, everybody. It is Tuesday, it's 3:45. I haven't done a vlog for a while, and I keep being sent loads of questions on Messenger and Instagram, so I thought I'd answer them all in one go. So some of them you already know, some of them you don't. Apologies if I'm repeating myself, but people are asking the questions, so I thought I'd answer them. First one is age. I'm 41. Although I think I still feel like I'm in my mid-20s. That's partly because my fiance is only 26, so I guess you are as young as the person that you feel. Bad for him, great for me. Do you think you're too old to compete? Sometimes I do, if I'm honest, yes. I mean, everybody says, you hear a lot of older people who say age is just a number, and you hear a lot of people in their 20s just say age is just a number, but age isn't just a number at all. It's physiology, it's biology, it's all sorts of things. The reality is, the older you get, particularly as a man, the lower your natural testosterone. There's a curve. You need testosterone to build muscles. The older you get, the harder it is. Recovery time is harder when you're older, particularly if you've ever had any injuries like I have with my back. Muscle growth is not as fast as as it would be in your 20s. You have to be more careful with your food. You have to be more careful balancing work-life commitments. So being older does add a whole series of additional challenges that the young just won't understand until they get a little bit older. There is a reason why there aren't very many people competing over the age of 40, and that's probably because it's quite hard and life gets in the way. You've got more responsibilities the older you get. So yeah, whilst competing is open to all and open to everyone of every age, it's definitely some days I do think it's a younger man's game. I mean, I look at guys in the gym who train really badly, who eat crap, who inject their asses with drugs to make up for the fact that they eat crap and don't train very hard. And I do think if they had the right coach that was pushing them in the right direction, then some of them look okay, but they look absolutely awesome. I don't have that luxury. I have bad genetics. I didn't start training until I was into my mid-30s, so I've started too late, and I'm up against it in terms of nature. But will I quit? No. I just may not achieve the physique that I want, but I'll achieve the physique that I can achieve in whatever time scale I've got. What's my current weight? I'm not sure. I haven't weighed myself for a couple of weeks, partly because I've been in Spain on holiday. Last time I checked in about 92 kilos, so I'd say somewhere between 92 and 93 and a half kilos. I've got to check in this week with my coach, I'll find out then. But around about 92 to 94 kilos, something like that. Carrying I'm at the upper end of my body fat, but I'm not competing this year. So my body fat is higher than it would be if I was competing, but we've added in cardio to try and bring that down. Will I be competing again? Yes, but just not in 2019. We had intended to enter the Pure Elite World Championships in November, where I had my pro card, so I'd have been competing as a pro. My coach was happy to support that, we were training for it, but I decided that I didn't want to cut my growth period too short. Going back to the age thing, I am getting older, and I do want to try and maximise my growth for as long as I possibly can. So I've decided that I won't be competing in 2019, and in fact I won't be competing in any fitness federation ever again, let alone Pure Elite. We're going to try something like PCA or UKUP, and depending on where we are near the time, aiming for around about April or May, not setting a fixed date. We'll just see where my condition comes in the new year, and then plan accordingly. So at the moment it's all about 2019, from now onwards is all about grow for me. What's the best thing about competing? There are several things, to be honest. It's the opportunity to see just how far you can push your body. Competing is an extreme sport. It's not for the faint-hearted. It is incredibly hard work, does take a huge amount of commitment, and when you step on stage and you can see all the hard work that you've got, and you're looking at your absolute best, ironically probably the least healthy, but you're looking your absolute best, and people are cheering you on, it is an incredible feeling. That's one of the things, that you get to celebrate your hard work. The other one is probably that you do realise that people are often following you and trying to find what you do and how you do it, and it might just be that they don't want to compete, they might just be they want to get into fitness and lose a bit of weight, and some of the things that we do in an extreme way for competing can help people that just want to do it normally, like weight loss or get back into fitness. So the fact that you're able to positively influence others is also a good thing for me. And then the third thing is the people you meet. I've met some absolute fucktards, but I have met some incredible people as well, and they know who they are. We're still in touch, and I wouldn't have met them if I hadn't competed. So yeah, it's the people, the opportunity to celebrate, and the opportunity to influence positive outcomes on people. The worst thing about competing is the politics and the fakery. There are a lot of sycophants in fitness. There are a lot of narcissists, and it's the politics involved in some federations is overwhelming. If your face doesn't fit and you don't do the right things and buy the right clothes, in some federations you won't get anywhere. There's a lot of politics, there's a lot of narcissism, and there's a lot of fakery. There's also a lot of exploitation. There are a lot of coaches out there who just exploit people's hopes and dreams, and I'm often sort of rallying against them, really. So the worst thing about competing is definitely there's a lot of fakery, there's a lot of exploitation, and there's a lot of politics. Probably worse than the House of Commons, to be honest. What's my training split currently? Bit of a strange one. I'm struggling to recover from quads. Might be a legacy of injury, also stiffness. So I roll my hamstrings as much as I can. I train quads, very low volume, 3 times a week. I train twice, high volume, heavy weights, twice a week, and then shoulders, back, arms, and hamstrings once a week, high volume and reasonable high weights. Seems to be working for me. I'm growing in all the areas. Least happy with my legs, but that's just because I'm my worst critic. Every part of my body's growing. My quads are just growing the least fast, but that's just genetics probably. I do train hard, I do all the right things. It's just one of those things, but they're still growing, importantly, and while they're still growing, we'll keep doing what we're doing. Favourite body part to train? Probably chest. Used to be my least worst, but it's probably my favourite now. It's taken me a couple of years to really get that mind-muscle connection going, and I now feel every contraction across my whole chest, and as a result of that, my chest has exponentially grown in the last few months since being coached by Craig Pike. What's my least favourite body part to train? Don't really have one. My hardest body part, the one I feel the most, is shoulders. I really do feel the burn, but I quite enjoy that. I find quads the toughest, but I really enjoy training in every aspect, to be honest. I love training. I don't have a least favourite body part. I just have body parts that are more challenging to train than others. But that's probably why I do it, to be honest. Who coaches me and where is my home gym? You seem to travel around a lot. My coach is an amazing guy called Craig Pike, who is he's an expert at all things fitness, to be honest, both nutrition, he's a qualified nutritionist, personal trainer, physiotherapist, rehabilitation expert, just knows his stuff, knows all about what supplements to take as well, pre-workouts, proteins. Just an incredible guy. He currently trains me from outside his home gym, which is Sup's Gym in Weston-super-Mare. That's my home gym, but I do travel around all over the place. Currently in Bristol, been in Spain last week at a friend's gym over in Torre del Mar. So I train wherever, really. Some gyms better equipped than others, but my preferred gym, the gym that I feel most comfortable in, is Sup's Gym in Weston-super-Mare with my coach Craig Pike and all the guys down there, to be honest. What's my worst habit at the gym? I don't like sharing machines. Hate it. Absolutely hate it. It takes me a while to set up the correct seating position and the correct orientation of weights, and I don't really like sharing it when people adjust it, because I am a stickler for safety, partly because I've been so badly injured in the past, having really severely injured my back. So I don't like sharing my space at the gym. I like to get in, get my sessions done, have my break periods, and then crack on as much as I can. If I have to share because the gym is exceptionally busy, I do, but it does affect the flow of my training session. So my worst habit is I'm quite selfish at the gym. I don't like sharing my space at all. Top 3 things I hate at the gym, apart from other people. The 3 serious things I hate at the gym are guys and girls who do not put their plates and weights away. It really pisses me right off, particularly in some of the large commercial gyms where you can spend half your session just trying to find the right dumbbell or plate. Really fucks me off. People who feel the need to give you expert advice when they look like shite. The people that are really scrawny who come up to you and they say, oh, you're doing that exercise wrong, when you're not. You're doing it the way that you've been taught to do it, the way that you feel the mind-muscle connection. Experienced it, witnessed it today actually. 2 guys, one doing plated single arm rows, another really scrawny guy came up and said, oh, I think you're doing it all wrong. The guy who was actually doing it had an absolutely amazingly solid back. If that had been me, I'd told the scrawny guy just to fuck off. So I hate people coming up and giving you unsolicited advice. I hate people who don't put the gym equipment away. 3rd thing I hate is probably is probably the ego fucktards at the gym who take ages on bits of kit because they're filming themselves, or they're taking photographs of themselves. I mean, I post selfies, but they take 30 seconds, as you can probably tell, because they're mostly rubbish. But I certainly don't distract other people. I was once needing to get into a squat rack to do some stuff, and the guy was filming himself then. He sort of go and interrupt the filming and say, look, guy, have you finished here yet? No, I'm filming, mate. Well, go and film somewhere else, you fucktard. The gym's busy, I need to get on and use some stuff. So, ego narcissist, Instagram famous wannabes, people who don't put their weights away, and people who give you unsolicited advice when they look like shite. Favourite food, anything Spanish. Absolutely anything Spanish. I tend to find it's quite healthy, even though some of it's got quite a lot of olive oil on it. I do tend to find that Spanish food is a lot fresher, a lot healthier. It's protein rich, a lot of fishes, a lot of meats. Absolutely adore Spanish food. I'm the grandson of a Spanish immigrant. Love working, training, and eating in Spain. So anything Spanish, paella, any of the local Andalusian delicacies, even horse meat, to be honest. Andalusian horse meat is absolutely sensational, but love it. How do I relax? I don't, to be honest. I have an incredibly bad reputation for never really chilling out. If I spend more than 20 minutes doing nothing, I get really bored. That's probably a psychologist's wet dream to analyse why, but I find I can't sit still for very long, and I can't do nothing at all for very long. Even when we were in Spain last week, we had a couple of days of sort of chilling on the beach, and I'm on my phone answering emails or reading a book or wanting to go for a cycle or a run or a swim or eat some food or sort of do all those things. So how do I relax? I don't. I just do things that are different from work. Working is incredibly stressful, so anything that's not work is my form of relaxing my brain, I suppose. Is my partner into training too? No. The antithesis of training, doesn't like it, hates it, doesn't really want to do it, and that is a good thing. The fact that we've got different interests is really, really good. So I'm quite selfish at the gym, so I like training with people, particularly on legs, but I like training with other people who are really into training, who are stronger than me because they push me, but my partner's not into training at all. We do have common interests, like we absolutely love horses, we love horse riding, so we do that, but training, absolutely not, no. No, definitely not. That's it in terms of questions. Hopefully you've answered them. Keep them coming. I'll answer them again. I love engaging with people. And apart from that, I suppose that's it. So from a 24-degree Bristol, I think the sun is roughly out. Not quite as warm as 32 degrees in Spain last week, but warm enough. I will speak to you all again soon. Have a great week. Bye-bye.